in the tournament. But Luke Kennard now with the Detroit Pistons, as is Henry Ellenson, their first-round pick from last year. He's number 8. He's wearing. And Jackson. This is Michael Benajay, drafted by the Pistons last year, product of Syracuse, and he's got an early throw.
And they're also the team. They're vested. You know, they're invested in you, so it's in their best interest that you ultimately develop.
The dime that got him, I believe it was number 42, to pass Oscar. The shot was made by Samaje Kristen. It was a kick out to the right corner. Kristen hit it,
yes, absolutely.
Who was the guy that made the shot that gave Russ the triple-double to pass Oscar? That is Samaje Kristen. Ellenson with a turnaround, and it's good. And I like Henry.
Nor did they need him to come in right away. You got to let these guys develop at their pace. But what he can do, I think he's got a chance to be a really good player at this level.
Here's Luke Kennard. Yes. First bucket of his pro career. Pardon me, that was Josh Eustace there.
Yeah.
Knocking that one in, the springy Josh Eustace. And Henry Ellenson goes glass for an and one in Detroit.
Really, I think important and will serve him well moving forward because you got to keep that even keel, which you don't often see with young players.
Kennard maxed out where he was, 12th overall. A lot of people mocked him in the 20s, in the late teens.
They need shooting. They
Good
need
call.
Perimeter shooting. So if you're going to be able to get a guy at that point that, and they may have had him ranked higher.
Huge hit. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
It was terrific.
But who would have been Rookie of the Year for you?
I thought Brogdon, by virtue of the success of the team.
He's got a mismatch. He had Kristen on him. And now Eustace. So in the post to Thompson, and the turnaround is
Hollis Thompson.
Hollis Thompson.
Get that deuce to go. Oh, nice.
Pardon me, he's on
there.
sheet 2 of my cheat sheet.
We see here in the NBA.
Ellenson working hard. Down in the post, little fade away. Yes.
That's a tough shot.
Ball history.
And to do it without having all of those prestigious 5-star recruits. You know, a tremendous credit is Marcus Page able to knock down this year for the Tar Heels.
You got a mouse in the house, GA. Ellenson against Page, and he made that look easy.
Tell you what, you see that again. That's the third time. It tells you he's put a lot of work in. Great recognition there, too, just to go up and over the smaller defender.
Here's Eustace on a running hook shot.
Very similar in some respects to Roberson in terms of the skill set, the physical nature, and what he brings to the table.
How about a little shot clock and game clock? Here's Benajay, back to Ellenson. Clean look over Page. He is.
This one for as well. But I really like what he is as a player. And again,
7.9 rebounds.
Good job defensively there by Page. And that's a heck of a finish. He's had it for a long time, though. That's kind of a thing, you know. We just don't get to see it in the league that often.
Hollis Thompson. OKC down 7. Number 7 with the rock. And it was last touched by Ennis. Almost went out of bounds. The save by Willis. And the reverse plus the foul by Hollis. Not that time. Right lane opened up for Lorenzo Brown, and he took it. And our fine crew here at the Orlando Magic's practice facility. It is the 2017 Orlando Summer League. Nice pump fake into an off-glass bucket. Sabonis, who was on the OKC Summer League roster, and of course now he's not. But your thoughts on it? Does it move OKC past San Antonio and or Houston?
I don't. Markedly. I mean, that was a huge get for Houston to get Chris Paul. I don't know that people appreciate how good Chris Paul is. I don't think the Pacers could have gotten a lot more because unless Paul George is going to be willing to commit to the league, and he's box office, and he's done nothing but deliver, as you see. It's just a matter, okay, are we going to be able to contend? You know, he's a talent that wants to be able to play for championships.
And Kennard now 2 of 6. Kennard trying to find this shot, fading and hitting. GA, that was his best shot of the game.
That was probably the one questionable shot we've seen him take, and that's going to happen from time to time. How about the big fella there that's at an all-time high in terms of the offseason, and now we're just kind of waiting to see is Kennard able to knock that mid-range down.
Pistons fans liking what they're seeing. Their team is up by 8. Ellenson has 13. Kennard has 10. Samaje Kristen, tough turnaround, and he got the bounce here in the third quarter. Pistons with a strong first half and a 51-43 lead, but now Oklahoma City starts with joining us here. He is literally one of the great, he's an all-star in terms of personality in the NBA.
He really is. And on
his game, GA. It's post-up fadeaways, it's straightaway shots. I don't know about the running floater from Ellenson yet.
Yeah, but a lot of times
we are tied at 51. And Moreland rocks the rim plus the foul.
That was a nice find.
16, appeared in 11 games. And Moreland with the block right there, and that he can do. Jackson to Kennard. I thought that delivery was a little too early. Am I right, GA?
Yeah.
Eustace in the corner. This is the shot he's got to make. And a great swat from behind by Eric Moreland, who is now really showing what he can do. Benajay to Kennard. And Benajay had two to his guy, but it was behind him, and Kennard says, I'll take that. That was Giannis Morin. I've seen 3 good defensive possessions by Kennard here in this third quarter. And I think, Jay, they've been back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah,
There's Ellenson.
Ellenson knocking down that standing of the personnel he's playing against. You know, he picks up quickly what you can and cannot do and plays accordingly. I thought he had a really good freshman campaign, but I wouldn't have said that coming in for how to play the game. I think he's got a chance to be a really solid pro.
Kennard guarding Marcus Page, but Page got by.
I think what will happen is over the course of the season, depending on how the team plays, is going to dictate oftentimes how many minutes he gets. Is Page able to knock down that?
Just doesn't have perimeter shooting. Like the only guy making perimeter shots for them right now is Marcus Page.
Yeah, and that's an area that are intriguing when you're trying to win a championship.
OKC, great defensive possession, and they do complete it. So essentially sort of saying we may not be able to give Paul what he wants. So how do you see this whole thing playing out from here as, oh my goodness, was that a jam by him?
Or else they would have made the trade in the during the season. And remember, this is a team.
I like dunks, I like the swing through, I like the whole thing. So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, and generally the league's gotten much better at not teching
to be the shot caller of this organization. So you have somebody who is not necessarily a Paul Millsap guy because he hasn't been there, and he's maybe got it.
And it's going to be hard for them moving forward to try to build through just the draft. You're going to have to participate in some respect because if you set that precedent, Paul Millsap's the type of player that if you can't commit to him long term.
A double-double in 70-plus games, and now the Millsap decision. So is it a full rebuild? Is it a full reset?
With the Hornets.
And there's been conversation. I read an article before we came on as Kennard drives and dimes to Moreland that
on that one.
So key possession here for OKC, and they get a buck. How good are the Nuggets?
I think the Nuggets can become a really good team. The question is point guard. Think about that Denver deal with Millsap, similarly to what we saw with Boston getting Al Horford.
Moreland went over the back of Hamilton, who came out with the rebound, and he wants to tie this game. Throws it up, and it goes! He's tied the game with a free throw.
Where you had a switch, and Jackson, I thought, bailed out to Curry Johnson taking that contested 3 against the 7-footer.
Pierre Jackson back for Detroit, under 2 minutes to go now, and Pierre puts it up. He puts it in. Plus Ellenson, he's got Takari Johnson on him. Tough to get a shot off, and it goes. That's the shot of the game.
Off, up, and over the big fella.
Hamilton was blocked by Moreland. The miss, and now OKC down 6, needs a 3. Kristen, wide open is Markel Brown, and this game ain't over yet. We got a 3-point game. That was a clutch 3 by Markel. He misses that, we can all go home.
Yeah. Now we'd be looking at a tie basketball game.
Here's Ellenson for the win. It's off, and the rebound is tapped, and Oklahoma City gets a controversial victory here.